Hi guys, welcome back to Barrovain Made. And in this episode of this Christmas calendar thingy-majiggy that we are doing, we are going to be making a tea light candle holder. I'm going to be making one that I haven't seen anywhere else. Probably hasn't been done before because it might be considered a little bit dangerous. There's a lot of fire in close proximity. But we're going to make it and we're going to see if it is actually dangerous and whether it ends up in the scrap bin or not. I think it'll be perfectly fine though. But what is it, like 10 tea light candles in a close proximity? What's dangerous about that? But yeah, I have this chunk of oak that we gotten off a table. If you haven't seen the video yet where I explain how I get my free oak and stuff, I got this nice big chunk off of a table. The way this piece is glued up is a lot of pieces in like end grain, not end grain, like side grain put together. And I don't think I could incorporate this into a table, so this has just been sat around collecting dust. And I figured it'd be a nice little sort of thing to put on the mantelpiece, having tea light candles all the way across it. So let's build it. So the tools we need, we're going to use a spade bit, we're going to use an angle grinder or some sort of sander of some sort, a drill, probably best using a drill press. Need a table saw, can't fit a table saw on my table, so there's a blade. Going to need some tea light candles and obviously the bit of wood. What we're going to do, we're going to grab our table saw with the blade in it and I'm going to put our little sliding miter attachment on, just because this bit of wood that I have, it has dominoes and stuff in it. Let's see my concentration phase there. It has a domino on each side of it from the the bit of furniture that I ripped it off. You can see here, and we just want to cut them off because we don't like the look of them. So we're going to put it on our sliding miter sled thing and just quickly nibble at it until the domino disappears. And we're going to do the same thing with this little rabbit we have here as well. Is it? Well, it's a rabbit or a rebate. I can't remember what you call it. I think it's a rabbit to all the American viewers out there, but I think we call it a rebate or something in the UK. I don't know. I watch mostly American content, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it a rabbit joint. But yeah, we're just slowly taking it through the table saw, nibbling at it until it disappears. Ended up having to do 2 passes, but I just got one on my camera. And I'm just going to run it through the table saw just to take that varnish off, just because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered getting a cabinet scraper on it or my hand planer. So a couple of passes on the surface planer gets rid of the varnish real nice and easy, and I don't have to break a sweat. I can let the tool do all of the work, which is nice. And I'm just going to pretend you didn't see those burn marks there because I haven't got my table saw set up properly and I need to adjust the blade. But yeah, now what we are going to do is work out where we're going to space out all of these tea light candles. What I'm doing is I'm taking the width of it, dividing it by 2, drawing a line all the way across. And if you're going to do these in batch cutting, it's probably best to make a jig, so you only have to do this once and you can lay it on top. But I'm just making the one, so I'm doing all the measuring individually. And I went on the calculator, I just calculated, I think it was the length of this and divided by 9 tea light cold. Oh, I can't remember the math. Either way, I spaced them all out so they're all evenly spaced. We managed to get 9 spots in there, so we can have 9 tea light candles in there. And you want to make sure these are somewhat spaced apart. Having this many tea light candles in a close proximity, I think could be considered dangerous. But I don't know. I tried spacing them apart enough so they wouldn't generate too much heat by each other, but they are still pretty close together. I don't know. Any fire experts out there, let me know if this is a dangerous product or not. But anyway, just using the drill with the spade bit, trying to make sure everything's centered, making sure they're all the same depth. Like I say, this would be a breeze on a drill press. If I had a drill press, I have to do it all by hand though, so I'm constantly having to make sure that I'm drilling down in a straight hole, checking how much I've gone down. On a drill press, you can just set the stop and absolutely just buzz it all out, and it would be a breeze. I also nearly worked my poor little drill to death. You'll see it in a minute. It actually started smoking, and I had to switch out my batteries twice on this, just because the amount of torque and stuff this generates. As you can see here, it was completely dead there. So I had to go and wait a few minutes for another battery to charge. I've only got very small batteries. So ended up going and grabbing my mother's bigger battery. She has a hedge trimmer, a DeWalt one. So I nicked a battery off there. Don't tell the mother. But as you can see here, the poor little thing's smoking. This spade bit generates a lot of torque, and no, it doesn't generate a lot of torque, sorry. It's cutting a lot of stuff at once, so it requires a lot of torque, and this poor little hand drill is trying to keep up with it. And we managed to get it done in the end, but it got very hot, and I had to take my time with it towards the end. But doing this on a drill press would be a much better idea. But anyway, after we got that on the drill press, no, we didn't get it done on the drill press, we got it done on the normal drill. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Anyway, we're going to grab the round over bit in a router and just go over and give it all a nice little round over, just preparing it for sanding. And I couldn't think of a nice easy way to sand everything in those where the tea light candles go, so I ended up just leaving them because the spade bit actually left a pretty clean hole. But I'd love to hear how you guys would come up with a way to sand all of this stuff. I didn't want to hand sand it because I didn't want those nice even round circles to turn into ovals, but yeah, I just left them as it is. If you can think of a better way to sand it, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, anyway, we took the sander to it, sanded it all up, and I don't know if you can see, I kind of messed up some of the tea light candles. I think one or two of them was off center slightly. I think that's when I was starting to worry about my drill smoking and stuff like that. So instead of focusing and spending my time on it, I was trying to rush and get it done so I wouldn't burn my drill out. And yeah, this ended up being a little bit naff because of it. But overall, it looked good from a distance, so I'm happy. It's gonna be sat on a mantelpiece or a windowsill somewhere, so hopefully people will only be looking at it from a distance. But anyway, I decided to put my touch mark on it anyway. My little branding messed up the first one, went back to do the second one, and I managed to get lucky and go over it twice and managed to line it up perfectly so it looked a little bit more decent. And yeah, probably should have let the thing heat up a bit more before using it. But anyway, after all that, we're going to whack some hard wax oil on it, and make sure you let this completely dry before lighting any tea lights in it, because hard wax oil, it is flammable, so don't be waxing it straight away and then whacking a bunch of tea lights in it and setting them all alight, because you'll end up with more than a few tea lights being lit. The whole thing will set on fire. But yeah, once you let it fully soak in, harden and stuff, it is good to go and you can light your tea lights. And I didn't have a problem with anything burning or scorching, but approach this with caution. It's a lot of fire in a very close proximity with each other. I know they're just tea lights and it can be easily overlooked, but just be sensible with it. But yeah, this is how it looked. It's on an oak mantelpiece, and you can see there everything's lit. I think everything's just evenly spaced apart, so it's not too hot and causing too much damage. So I think I got the spacing just about perfect on this. You guys do whatever you want to do with yours though, just make sure you go about it in a safe manner. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. It's almost like a sound bar, but with fire. So yeah, it looked really nice on a mantelpiece, or maybe even a window ledge somewhere. Just make sure you haven't got your curtains down if you do plan on lighting these. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.